Namaskar, Adab and welcome. This is Amit Parida. Welcome back to another video and this will be on features of pragmatism. Alright, if you are studying philosophy, you know it's easy to get lost in all these super abstract theories. But what if there was a philosophy that was built entirely for action? Today, we are going to break down pragmatism. Think of it as a powerful toolkit for making decisions and solving problems. Let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of what pragmatism is all about. Just forget everything you think you know about absolute unchanging truths for a second and just consider this. What if truth isn't something out there waiting for us to discover it? What if it is something we actively create through our experiences? Well, that's what pragmatism is, which we have already seen in another video on its origin and exponents. Let's dive into the features of pragmatism, which says that ideas don't come before action. Ideas are actually born from action. That brings us to the very first feature of pragmatism. Honestly, it's a total game changer. It's the simple but really profound idea that truth is whatever works. Pragmatist isn't going to sit around wondering if an idea is eternally and absolutely true. The real question is, hey, does this idea help me solve a problem right now? If the answer is yes, then for that specific situation, that idea is true. Think of truth like something less like a trophy you discover and put it in a glass case, and more like a tool in a toolbox. It's dynamic, it's useful, and it gets shaped by the hands-on process of actually living. In this regard, a great pragmatist, John Dewey, put this perfectly. He said, truth is made just as health, wealth, and strength are made. That makes so much sense, right? You don't just stumble upon good health, you build it through your diet, through exercise, through experience. Well, pragmatists see truth in exactly the same way. It's an outcome you achieve, not some secret you just uncover. Let's make this super practical and maybe relevant to you. Say you are studying for an exam and your old method of just rereading your notes, it just isn't cutting it. So that's your problem that something isn't working for you. So you come up with a possible solution. Maybe flashcards will help. So you test it out for a week and what do you know? Your practice scores actually go up. In that moment, for that purpose, the idea that flashcards are an effective study method has become true for you. You didn't discover it, you made that truth through actions and results. Okay, so if truth is something we make, what does that mean for our values? Our ideas of what's good or beautiful? This leads us straight to the second feature of pragmatism. While pragmatism argues there are no ultimate heaven-sent truth or heaven-sent values, things like goodness, justice, beauty, these aren't fixed stars up in the sky. They are man-made tools that we as a society create to help us all live together. And because our societies and our experiences are always changing, it's ever changing, our values have to change too. Dewey captures this with this amazing saying, values are as unstable as the forms of clouds. They are constantly shifting and reforming. That's a really powerful idea, isn't it? It means that we as a society aren't just following some ancient rule book. We are actively creating our own reality and deciding what actually matters to us. We can see this happening all the time. Just look at a value like social responsibility. Back in the 19th century, that might have just meant an individual donating to some charity. By the 20th century, it grew to include things like fair wages, safe working conditions, etc. And today, in the 21st century, you can't really talk about it without including the environmental sustainability factor. See, the core value is there, but its practical meaning, its truth has evolved right along with our society. So all this brings us to our third and final feature, which is really about the method of pragmatism. If truth and values are always changing, then how in the world do we navigate everything? Well, we treat life like a laboratory. This means every one of us is an experimenter every single day. Every choice you make is basically a test of a hypothesis. If I try this, will it work? We're all constantly coming up with ideas, testing them out in the real world, and learning from the results. There is no final answer, just this ongoing process of trying things out and adapting. I absolutely love this quote from William James, another giant of pragmatism: the cash value of truth. It's so direct, isn't it? He basically saying an idea worth isn't in how elegant or how poetic it sounds. Its real value is in what it pays out when you put it to the test. Does it work? Does it get you a result? That is its cash value. Now, if life is just a big experiment, it stands out to reason that there can't be just one correct method for everything, right? This is where pragmatism naturally leads to pluralism. If different experiments work for different situations, then there can't be one single grand theory of everything. Instead, we have to accept that every problem requires different tools and that many different perspectives can be valid at the same time. Think about trying to solve a complex community problem like improving a local park or a road. An economist might have one solution, a sociologist might have a totally different one, and an environmentalist a third. A pragmatist wouldn't try to find the one true solution. Instead, they would look at all these perspectives and see them as valuable tools and realize that the best outcome probably involves combining ideas from all of them. Well, what does all this mean for you? As you are heading into an exam or just facing your next big decision in your life, how can you actually use this? Well, the best way to think about pragmatism is not as a set of rules but as a practical toolkit you can carry with you. Here it is, your pragmatism cheat sheet. First, focus on what works, not on some abstract ideals. Second, test your ideas in the real world. You know practice always comes first. Be flexible because truths and values can and do change. Embrace different perspectives. That's pluralism. Use your ideas as tools to actually solve problems. Maybe most importantly, remember you are a creator of your environment and your values. You are not just a spectator here. That really leaves us with pragmatism's most exciting idea of all. That reality isn't finished. As Dewey said, it is still in the process of making. So here is a final question for you, which isn't for any exam, it's for life, for you to think. As an experimenter in this grand lab, what truth will you make? What value you create? And what part will you play?